Hello and welcome to Weekly Bone! Well, this actually isn't the first time you've seen Weekly Bone on the Phone Dog YouTube channel. This is going to be Season 2 dose of the Weekly Bone on here on the YouTube channel of Phone Dog. My name is Marco Hanna. I'm the brand new host for Weekly Bone on Phone Dog, and if it's alright with you guys, let's get started. First up, Karen Warenbaker takes a look at the brand new Blackberry Z10. Z10's basically BlackBerry's brand new flagship device. They're using this thing to sort of reinvent themselves.
It really is a nice overhaul if you're coming from a BlackBerry before.
It runs a brand spanking new version of BlackBerry 10. It's basically built from the ground up, nothing really of the old days of BlackBerries of yesterday. It's a brand new device full of new software and actually some pretty good hardware, but it can compete with some of the other phones like on the market, like the Android market or the iOS market. It has a 1.5 gigahertz dual-core processor and 2 full gigabytes of RAM under the hood. Aaron overall likes the Blackberry Z10, but it does suffer from a couple downfalls, like some battery life issues. It doesn't last all day on some occasions. And the second thing that Aaron didn't like has sort of always been there for BlackBerry. It's the lack of an app ecosystem. There's still BlackBerry World, but the apps on that store are not equal enough to the Android store or, of course, the big one, the iOS App Store. Overall, we think the Z10 is going to be a pretty good step for BlackBerry to take, but is it worth going away from your Android or iOS phone? We're not sure if the value is still there for you to change your carrier or change whatever you're using already and moving on to a brand new spanking new OS like BlackBerry 10. Our own Alex Wagner takes the big mystery on the Windows Phone Blue project that's been sparking up the past couple of weeks. Recent reports of Windows working on a blue version of their device or software has been sort of sparking up everywhere, and our own Alex Wagner covered a story saying that Microsoft actually posted a job online saying that they're looking for a couple positions that will sort of take the Windows Phone Blue project into new levels. Microsoft posted a job called Senior Lead Development for Windows Phone 8. This actually, in the description, has Windows Phone Blue written all over it, talking about how you're going to be taking Windows Phone 8 Blue and sort of making it even better. So they're going to be working on Excel on the Windows Phone experience, and they're also going to be working on some of things like the startup screen and increasing the lifespan of applications on the Windows Phone 8 store. This may be telltale signs that a Windows Phone 8 and a Windows 8 update will be coming in the soon or near future of this year or maybe early 2014, but only time will tell. Our early reports of the LG Optimus G Pro 5.5-inch device is 100% absolutely correct. Actually, just last week, LG uncovered their whole thing about the LG Optimus G Pro. It is a 5.5-inch device, and it does have a 1.7 gigahertz quad-core processor, and new reports have just come out that's saying that you could actually expect the G Pro coming in the US sometime in Q2. Mobile World Congress is only next week, so maybe we'll get some more insight on when we can have that device here in North American shores, and of course, the other European nations of the world are also might be watching. You guys have not been forgotten about. You usually get these devices pretty soon after us, or sometimes even before us, so we'll definitely let you know all about stuff and all of that jazz at Mobile World Congress next week here on Phone Dog's YouTube channel and of course at phonedog.com. Now lastly, we can talk about the biggest news of the whole week this week is the HTC One. Well, if you remember from last year, the HTC One sort of sparked up a whole lot of likes and dislikes in the whole Android market. I love the HTC One and I love the HTC One X, but here is the all-new HTC One. This device actually looks pretty sick. It has a 4.7-inch 1080p HD display. The pixel density is mind-blowingly good. It's about 460, I think. Also, it's going to have a 1.7 gigahertz Snapdragon 600 quad-core processor, which means it will be an absolute screamer. Now, here's some weird news. The back camera is only a 4-megapixel camera. If you remember, the HTC One had an 8-megapixel camera. Why did they cut it in half? Well, HTC said it's enough with this megapixel war. It's sort of funny that they actually announced the 16-megapixel HTC Titan II only about 2 years ago. So now they're calling these UltraPixels. What are UltraPixels? I honestly don't know what they are, but HTC do tell us that they bring in 300% more light than regular camera sensors on mobile phones. More light really actually is the biggest player in a mobile phone camera because the sensors are so small. So the more light that's coming in into the sensor means the clearer the image will be on your device. So maybe a 4 megapixel camera isn't so bad. HTC did say that a 4 megapixel still image will still fill up a 30-inch display monitor. Well, that wraps up the first episode of Weekly Bone! My name is Marco Hanna from PhoneDog.com, and I will see you in the next video. But seriously, I'll see you, right? Alright, cool.